maybe if people who are saying defund the police got together with some cops and did mushrooms together, just like if people on different political ideologies got together and did mushrooms together. If you get together and do mushrooms with someone, you're not going to be mad at them about anything.
No, I mean, it all depends. It really depends. It depends on what was on their mind or why they have their political belief. Because
That's true.
sometimes it's so deep rooted, and it's like, you start finding out is like, if you go deep enough, you're like, oh man, the reason why I don't like Republicans is like, somebody beat me in a Ronald Reagan mask when I was like 3 at a birthday party, and I just really realized that. And you're like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like you can't stop somebody. Like, why would somebody in a Ronald Reagan mask come up and beat you with a baseball bat? I mean, you were set up to fail, man.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like there that happens all the time too. Like you were saying, I'm sure that's often the case. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like uh, some of that is obviously like your upbringing too. Like a lot of people, like you were saying, people live unexamined lives and they're not that introspective a lot of the time. So like you kind of copy the political and or religious beliefs that you were raised with, and then maybe you do analyze them and you change them, and maybe you go like more radical than your parents were. Maybe you go off in the completely opposite reaction or direction as a reaction to it. And it's like that's interesting too. Like I see often people have like this extreme ideology and then they realize, holy shit, I was all wrong, and then they shift to this other extreme ideology, which is really interesting. Like the more I kind of like think about my worldviews and learn and examine different perspectives on different issues, it's so often the case that I think, wow, this person makes so much sense about all of these different issues. And then on the like these few specific issues, I think, I can't totally get on board with everything they're saying, though. I kind of disagree with some of the things. And then that ends up being the case with like every person. And then I just have to remind myself all the time, like, there's never going to be anyone who you agree with about absolutely everything. And expecting that is just ridiculous.
And then why would you? My thing is why would you want that? Why would you want somebody to completely agree? Like the whole purpose of talking to somebody is to expand. Like if you have somebody that just echoes the exact same thing that you do, like what is the interest in life like that? Or why should everybody think the way that you do? Like what makes your thinking so great? I still don't understand how anybody could honestly think that their opinion is tantamount, because like maybe it's just me. Like even my opinions, I'm like, that's good, but I don't know if I'm like married to them like that. Like they're always bound to change. So I don't know anybody that could sit there and be absolutely happy with the fact that they're imposing their will and they're imposing their view on somebody else, and that their will is the absolute right will of all things. And that's what wokeness really does kind of give you. And once again, I think woke lead well, there's no real woke leaders anymore. There's like wokeness is just this big weird globular kind of thing that just has a lot of people.